It's March 7, 2015, and I've had in the quietness of more revelations coming from within. And I asked God and I said, what is this beast? What is this 666? Can you explain some more? And God said, they're looking for something outside of themselves. They're looking for this beast. They're looking for a mark. They're looking for the signs and sayings, the signs of times, It's a doomsday. It's an Armageddon. It's a shake-up, you see? So, it's not just waking up here. This is about shaking up yourselves. Because, everyone seems to constantly look outside of themselves for answers. They're looking for something physical to see to give them an explanation. And so I say now, why is it the nature of mankind? Why? Why is it the nature of mankind to kill and destroy themselves? When I think about killings and murders, rapes, chopping up and stabbings and all that stuff, you know what image comes into my mind? A beast, an animal. What kind of human being would do something like that? Then I say to myself, but God, that's not human beings. That's like an animal. That's like a beast. So you're busy looking to call other people who could be the beast and the colors of their skin, or if they have a certain mark on their bodies, and say they're the beast. And it's still, the question is, why are you not looking within yourselves? For you say it's easier for you to blame a woman, a female, that she brings upon herself the evils of the land, as they say, right? Then they want to look at certain cultures. They want to look at what somebody has attained, right? And still, you're looking outside. You're not still looking within. So, I said, when you look in the mirror, there's so many different analogies, and they said, look in the mirror and look within, Look in the mirror, what do you see? But the thing is that when you look in the mirror, what do you see? You're looking at a physical shell. It doesn't matter whether you look at yourself as being pretty or ugly, or whether you have brown eyes or blue eyes or gray eyes. You're still looking at something physical. You're still not looking within. What is it that's inside of you? And I'm not talking about the organs of your body. Who do you see yourself as, And, the reason why I figured when anyone who's in contact with me for the day, the path and the journey I'm on is that anyone who's in contact with me for the day, there's something for me to talk about. So a contact came in from one of the young men that contacted me on Tango, and he asked me how I'm doing. So the conversation came about where, whichever way it started, and I said to him, what would you describe me? I wish I could read it to you, but I'm driving right now and I'm talking. So either way, I told him to describe what he thinks of me. Because I guess, and one of the main things that stood out is when he says that I have a vast knowledge of nature. So I love the way he said it like that, because I didn't put any words in his mouth. He's saying what's coming from his heart, what's coming from his spirit. So I said to him, you're absolutely right. I said, not only am I also have a vast knowledge of nature, I also have a vast knowledge of the nature of mankind. I told you I've been studying and observing human behavior from I was 3 years young. And it was pretty sad, and I was saying somewhat frightening for me. Not too frightening, just mostly sad. Because you see, it's like as I came down here and I see, and you see, the reason why I know I was sad is because when I look at the pictures of myself when I was 3 years young, you could see it in my face. It's like this homely girl, and I say homely because I looked like I had bags under my eyes, and there was no smile coming, no radiance coming from my face. The only picture that I saw of myself at 3 was a picture of myself dancing. So then I said, wow, I love dancing from I was 3 years young. I'm so happy someone took a picture of that. So you shall see the picture. And then I saw pictures of myself as a baby, like an infant, and I'm there in the chair. So you'll see pictures of that too. I think that was the most I saw myself with a smile on my face as a baby. I'm talking infant. Like I looked like I was 3 months old. But you see, as time went on and I started growing into the body, then I saw pictures of myself at, maybe 7, 8, and I just was not too happy at all. And I guess it's because of the nature of what? Mankind, and how they treat each other, how they talk to one another, how they interact, and how they're such hypocrites, liars, deceivers. They smile in your face, stab you in the back, They criticize and judge other people, yet still they're doing the same thing. The same thing in a different way. The same thing. And I think about this, I said, you know something? Let me say this out loud. Those of you out there who judge, guess what? You're being judged also as well. Because whatever you're putting out there, you're bringing it right back to yourself. And I'm talking judging on every single level, because you're going by what you're seeing with your physical eyes, and you're not minding your own business and paying attention to what's not only going on outside in your backyard, also what's falling out of your closet, the skeletons, and then you're also not looking at what's happening within yourself. So I also thought about infections and deficiencies of the physical body, because many of you out there, you're fitness gurus, and you're also into your health and what you're eating, that I'm eating right and I'm exercising and dieting and all this stuff. And yet still, there's still something missing, because all of you who are trying to do all the physical things, the physical things, to feel better and to look better and to be in wonderland, but then still you're not happy. You're still not happy. And you're not happy, so you can try and fool yourself into thinking that you're happy. So you try to make yourself look beautiful, and you go to the spa, you get your nails done, your hair done. The men, they go to the gym and all that stuff, or whatever they're seeking into their own glory, with control and power. Hey, I'm getting real here. And still they're not happy either, because there's a longing for something, because there's something missing. So what usually happens is you start to create some other deficiencies, because those of you who think that the deficiencies that you have is only the ones that you're paying attention to is of the physical body. So therefore what you do, you take multivitamins, multi-minerals, drinking energy drinks and all this stuff, because you said you need some more energy, you need some, and then once you build yourself up, then you'll be able to attain more physical things, and therefore you shall be satisfied. And still, there is still no satisfaction. There's still no satisfaction. And if you're going to say that you are satisfied, I'm going to say this again. You're fooling yourself. I can tune into majority of you right now ahead of time. And it's like there's a jolt inside of you, but you still stay in denial about yourselves. So you can still talk all kind of shit and say, oh, she don't know what she's talking about. Oh, yes, I do. Because you know why? Because I see right through you like an X-ray machine. I even told my girlfriend, I said, I know a lot of times people think that because I may act in a certain way or react in a certain way to people's behaviors, but I'm not saying anything, so therefore I'm probably foolish and naive into believing. But I tell you, you don't know what I'm up to, whether it's consciously or subconsciously. You don't assume, do not ever, and I'm going to say it applies to everyone now, because I used to say it to just males. So now I'm going to apply this to both males, females, children, adults, young adults, teenagers, whoever. You cannot fool me. It's very transparent to me when it comes to behavior and attitudes, and and I say this again, that those who come across with attacks, defense mechanisms, putting up the walls, running away, fleeing, whichever way possible, I tell you that there's something that is deficient with you. There's something that is hiding. You're hiding. And whatever you're hiding is something that you are afraid to face. You're afraid to look at yourself in the mirror. You're afraid to see what it is that is going on with you. And everyone knows within themselves, deep down inside, that there are some things that are just deeply buried. And it's not, it's just something that you just don't choose to face. You just rather go day to day, on and on, living your life as if nothing is wrong. And then whatever is wrong within you, you try to apply it to your children by taking it out on them, or you apply it to your spouses, your co-workers. You bring on the anger, and then the anger fuels itself into other things, and it becomes like a fire, like a rage. And then those type of rages and anger, is because it's how you feel about yourself. Because you see, if I'm calm within myself and I'm okay and well within myself, there is no need for me to be attacking or becoming, angry. No, not at all. So therefore, that means then when you're reacting and acting out in certain behaviors, it's because there's some issues that you have with yourself. So you become angry and defensive because you don't like to hear the truth. You choose to run away from the truth and to move yourselves away from it Because you figure, you know, how dare her, how dare he tell me something that I don't want to face? How did she know? How does he know? Why? Oh well, the time has come where we must be authentic with ourselves. So the same way that you take your vitamins and minerals and everything for the physical body, and you eat your foods well, and you talk about, oh, I don't eat this and I don't eat that and blah, blah, blah. And yet still you're not happy. You're not as happy. You're not happy, and you're not even filled with joy. You're not even overflowing. You're not even close to overflowing with joy. Not even close. Because I even asked myself this question. I said, I was so overflowing with joy earlier on in the day, and then I wake up and I'm like, oh. And you know, it's not because of circumstances to do with myself. It's because I attain to tune into what is happening with the energies of those around me. You know, almost every single human being. I try not to tune into every single person, but it's just the energy field that's going out there. So it's cloudy outside. So it's, you know, there's no excitement. No one is up to anything. Everything's just dull, dragging along. And it's because it's a collective thing going on here. So you ask yourself this question. You take all these vitamins, you eat your food right, you eat right, you drink, you know, all these things. And yet still, you know, you might think your body is just perfectly fine. But have you ever thought about what if you also have a deficiency with your soul, your spirit? You know, something's lacking there. There's something that's deficient. You ever thought about that? You should. Because, you know, that is what's going on. That's what's going on here right now. This is one of the revelations that I'm sensing. I said, oh, so I said, God, they're not even realizing that there's deficiency within their spirit, because they're trying to fool themselves and say, oh, I'm working on being happy. I'm trying. I really am. There's nothing to try to be happy. It's either you just be happy or you be joyful within yourself or not, regardless of your circumstances. There's nothing for you to go to do to be happy. There's nothing for you to have something to be happy. There's nothing for you to go and speak to someone to be happy. Like, oh, maybe if I talk to him or if I talk to her, then I'll start to be happy. Or maybe if I just go look for that job and make the right kind of money so that way I can get my house and the car that I desire, and then I'll be happy. And you just keep searching for this happiness all over the place. Or I need to go to church so I can find a church fellow who's, you know, spiritual and religious, and therefore I shall be happy. Then you're going to still continue looking and looking, because you keep looking outside of yourself. And I want to point out something why I'm bringing that up too, because I always had said from what I experienced with my relationships, I always said that, you know, because of what I experienced with my marriage, I said the next time that when I'm getting married to someone, whoever's in my life, he's going to have to love me more than I love him. So I said to the fellow when he spoke, you know, made contact with me today, I said, you know something, I have it backwards. I said, because from what I know now than what I used to say before, I said it's better to know that I say that I love me more than he would love me. Because you see, however I feel about myself is what's being reflected. So I changed it up now. So it's not about whichever man that is in my life that I shall be, you know, going out with or married to or whatever, that he loves me more than I love him. It's because it's a reflection. It's a mirror. But therefore, I would have to love myself more. You see, because someone could be loving me so much and kissing me and, you know, reciting poetry to me and saying all these beautiful things, but then does it really work if I'm not feeling that way also? How many times have people say that they, you know, oh, he gives me the world, he treats me so wonderful and he's loving, but then you're still not happy. You're still not happy. You're still not happy because something's missing, and what's missing is you're not loving yourself. Because if you're not loving yourself, how can you possibly receive the love that you're getting from someone else, because you think that that's the way you're supposed to get it?